Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Zach, your host of the Hustle State of Mind podcast show. Thanks again for joining us today. This is episode 5 that we're filming here, and this is by far one of my dream episodes as far as businesses and business owners that I could talk to kind of understand a little more about who they are and what they do. This is a really exciting one. If you notice too, we're not necessarily in our normal podcast studio where we film everything, because the backdrop here and the way this building looks and their design and vision for the whole building itself really comes to life and makes for a really great podcast filming too. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it and have our two guests today. That's right, we have two, Jill and Matt Kasle, on here with us from Bombshell Treat Bar Co. Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I know, like I said, I reached out to Jill a little while ago via email. Actually, I reached him via Instagram. I was like, hey, please, what do I got to do? And I really appreciate you guys making it work and letting me come here.
Absolutely.
I cannot tell you enough. I mean, just from coming to your pop-ups, and we'll talk about all this, but coming to your pop-ups and just kind of the hype around, watching your storefront get built, because I live in Berkley and I constantly walk this street. It felt like me and my wife and my son were just kind of sitting here, like watching it like a New Year's Eve ball drop, waiting for this place to open. So
We were too.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So before we talk about Bombshell and everything like that, let's just talk about you guys and get to know you guys a little better, so that all the viewers and listeners can understand like who you guys are and kind of what you guys are about. So let's just get into it. So where are you guys from?
We live in Birmingham.
Okay, cool.
And I was born and raised here.
Okay, how about you, Matt?
I was born in Bloomfield Hills. I grew up primarily in Southern California.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. All right, where at in California?
In the Los Angeles area, Beverly Hills.
I used to live in San Diego.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
SoCal.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss it. I miss it.
Not quite sure I do. I miss the weather sometimes.
Yeah, the 75-degree days every day. Yeah.
No rain.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so you guys are still like, Michigan based though now. Mm-hmm. Very cool. So with, Bombshell and everything, you guys are a married couple running a business, which is that's awesome. It's kind of a dream of mine. I know my wife's going to be like, oh, here we go. But honestly, how long have you guys been married?
16 years this September.
16 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You guys have any kids?
2 kids.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
13 and 12.
13 and 12. Very cool. Very cool.
They're cool kids.
Okay. Gotcha. Very cool. Are they boy, girl?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Which one came first?
Our daughter.
Our daughter.
Okay, so it's probably a little easier.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oh, they're both tough.
Yeah.
Parenting is impossibly difficult, but
Yeah, I'd say out of anything I've done, I've only got a 3-year resume of parenting, and man, it is freaking
It's
hard.
I miss having a 3-year-old. Put it that way.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, I'm going to
gets
jot that
harder.
down for like
It's
the
a lot.
100th time I've heard it.
it's a lot of fun though.
Yeah. No, for sure. Especially when they can come to their, their family business like this, and just relax, hang out, and probably learn a lot from you guys too, as far as running a business. I feel like that's pretty cool to have parents to look up to for all that. So that's really cool. Okay, cool. So let's jump into a little more about like your guys' backgrounds. What did you guys do before you guys decided, hey, let's start an ice cream shop?
Well, we could go way back. We're not young here, but I after college moved to New York, and I wanted to go to culinary school, but that did not pan out. And I managed a restaurant for a year and a half. Then I got into event planning, moved back home, worked for Chrysler, and then ended up with Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, and I did marketing and events for them. And then I left to raise our children.
Very cool. What about you, Matt?
I moved back to this area in 1999 to work for my family business, which was automotive steel.
Okay.
I lived in Windsor, Ontario for a couple years, working at our Canadian facility.
Nice.
Moved back here in January of 2001, moved to Royal Oak, and worked for the family steel business for a number of years. My father sold it in 2008, and I got involved in restauranting. I got involved in a Mexican restaurant that became a small chain in Florida called Rocco's Tacos.
Sweet.
Being involved in food made me very passionate about hospitality and the food business, the food service industry. We were successful for a number of years. It was a great learning device for me, but it backstopped something that my wife and I, Jill, had always wanted to do, which was our own thing.
Okay.
So part of what has made Bombshell all these years later is a 16-year love affair between us to do our own thing.
Man, that's really cool. Okay, because that's really cool. That was one of my questions. Is you kind of answered it with the hospitality background and stuff like that of running, Rocco's Tacos and stuff.
I didn't run it, so I just want to be clear.
Okay.
I was involved
Right.
as an investor.
Okay.
It was a family business.
But you're familiar with the service itself.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And had always loved food and always loved the food business.
Right.
And as Jill did, I mean, she had just mentioned she was in New York running a restaurant. So
Yeah.
we both have always wanted to do this together.
Okay, so because I'm like wondering, man, did you guys just jump right in the water, or there's some kind of background with the food industry that both of you guys had, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the main thing here. Bombshell Treat Bar. This place, I love it so much.
Thank you.
I think I've been here 6 times since you guys have opened so
Love
far.
that.
So I brought my mom on an occasion. I think my mother-in-law, a couple of our friends. We're just recruiting for this place the whole time.
Thank you.
But let's start. What's the origin story? What's the beginning of Bombshell? How did it all start? When did it start? The idea, all of that.
Let me preface with, don't feel sorry for us. This has a happy ending.
Awesome.
So I always wanted to do something in food, as we've talked about, but the timing was never right, and I never had the courage or the confidence. And our kids were small, and it was late summer of 17, and Matt was diagnosed with cancer, and that turned our world upside down. And 3 months later, I was diagnosed with cancer, which was wild and unexpected. And we had to really change our mentality to keep our kids happy and sort of oblivious to what we were coping with. But while that was happening, I was really focusing very strongly on what I could do to add happiness into this world, because I felt so much was being taken from us, and there was so much fear and just uncertainty, and I felt this was my time to really research what would be something we could create together, and that would make our kids happy too. And so I started just using the internet, social media, and seeing what people were doing all around the globe. And I followed some businesses that I was really curious about. And so he was through with chemo, and it was August of 18, and I had my last chemo treatment. And I said, we're going to Canada, because there was a business I wanted to see. And so we took the kids on a road trip. And what I wanted to see ended up being a real disappointment. But I'm a dessert junkie, and every night I need dessert, every night. And so I said, Matt, please find me a place that we can go and take the kids to. And he found this really sweet ice cream shop. And I don't even truthfully like ice cream. Now I do. But at the time, it was not my go-to. Cake was my go-to.
Okay.
But he took us to this tiny little hole in the wall, but it had a line around the block, and it was so charming, and the concept was crazy simple. It was vanilla soft serve, but they were dipping it in, I think they had 30 flavors of Belgian chocolate, and I was blown away, literally. And I walked out and I said, this is what we're doing. And so that's really what started this.
We had all these other concepts, by the way, that we had kind of like white papered. We still have them, but one of them was dessert focused and chocolate focused. And from this experience, this travel experience, the research, the creative process, we started to kind of narrow down what our focus was going to be. And that, again, a very long story, but it eventually became Bombshell.
Holy smokes. Okay, I did not, that I had no clue about this one. This is, wow. Okay. So you guys are the definition of adversity. Wow, that's absolutely incredible to like, I mean, I was just talking to you about how cool it is, for your kids to look up to their parents doing this, but man, to really look up to you guys, to see what you guys have overcame together is, holy smokes, man. You guys are tough. You guys are tough, man. And that, wow. So, tip my hat off to you guys.
Thank you.
So you go through something like that, and it makes you think about what the rest of your life is going to be like. Am I going to hold back? Am I not going to do the things that I've always wanted to do, that we've always wanted to do? And I just think that put us, you kind of get to a breaking point, and you kind of say, we got to do this. This is what's going to make us happy. We're going to try to make other people happy, and we're going to try to put something into the world that, expresses who we are, expresses what we're all about.
Yeah, you only get one life.
Yeah.
And,
one shot at this. One shot.
You guys are definitely taking advantage of it for sure, which is awesome, because this is, there's so many times even, personally where I look back and I'm like, did I waste a couple years, just, working a 9-to-5 job or something like that where, I could have just taken a risk or done something that I really felt would better the world. And you guys are doing that here. I can tell, if you guys have never been here, they made that shop with the line going out the door all the time. Because every time I've been here, there's a line going out the door for your guys' desserts. So that's so cool. So you guys, a trip to Canada kind of inspired this whole thing. And it was sounded like it was like a celebratory trip. Like, hey, all right, we're healthy, we're good. Let's get out of here. Let's go eat some desserts.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's freaking cool. That's really, really cool, man. So a little more, because now you guys, to me, I chased you guys around, like I said, to the pop-ups before this and all that. You guys didn't even have a storefront. What was the turning point that you guys were like, okay, we're gonna have a brick and mortar building?
So we were in several commissary kitchens, and we kept getting kicked out because not because we were bad tenants. We just we're a small operation, and the bigger guys that were in there needed more space.
Or just the circumstance. The first kitchen that we were in, the building owner decided to turn it back into a full service restaurant and to lease it out to a full restaurant operator. Yeah. So it went from a space that 2 or 3, 4 businesses were operating out of to we were all out, and it's now an Italian restaurant. But yeah, we went from one commissary kitchen to another at the back of our Temple Bethel on Telegraph Road.
Okay.
We were there for a year and a half, and then we were to another commissary kitchen in Ferndale. All these jumps made operating our business very inefficient.
Yeah.
Very stressful, and got back into that uncertainty mode that no one likes to operate out of. And so finding a space, building a kitchen that was our own, and having a retail component, like we call it the ice cream shop part.
Yeah.
But they were both very important to us. We wanted to do both. We've done both. But the primary thing of building the space is to build our own kitchen so we can control the production process and always have access, always have the equipment we need, always have our people being able to access that equipment.
I can imagine. Yeah, probably, especially if you're leasing somebody else's building. Sometimes might not be that convenient to go access what you guys need to access for work because of other operations within someone else's business.
Yeah.
So to have everything under one roof with employees, food, material, all of that stuff, and make it look really nice and good in here too.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So we launched the business initially in 2020 as a catering-based business. So you're talking like you had experienced us in pop-ups. Most of our business for the first 3 years was not pop-ups and not public-facing events, but private catering, private events.
Okay.
And so that, allowed us to operate out of commissary kitchens without a public-facing experience. But you're still very limited at that point.
Yeah.
You're not, someone put it to us this way once, and I like this. We were asking people to marry us before they went on a date.
Right.
With our products.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a full experience or get a full box delivered to your door, rather than just being able to come into a retail experience and buy a single ice cream bar to just try us. So that's part of what this place represents as well, a further evolution of our business, but almost where a lot of ice cream shops might start. We actually didn't start here. We've ended up here.
Wow. Okay. That's a great way to put it right there too. I mean, just thinking about everything, I'm still just blown away by you guys' story. So I'm like, man, it's really inspiring to me to hear about that. And it was probably tough. You guys started in 2020. There was like some kind of bug going around that year that everyone was catching.
Yes.
The world kind of shut down during that time and all that stuff. I mean, what a time to start a business, huh?
The world shut down, and I forced her to keep going. She had put so much work into this, so much love and passion, creativity, that from 2017 to 2020, that even as the global pandemic was descending upon us, we were figuring out how to pivot and launch the business.
That's incredible.
And we did.
That's incredible, because especially something like that, right, when the world shuts down, it's so easy. So many people got complacent with not working. I'm sure you guys probably experience like that, just like when it comes to hiring, is finding people who actually want to work still. I've talked to a lot of other business owners who are like, man, it's just hard to find people that want to work.
Yes.
But for yourself to not throw the towel in and be like, oh, you know what? Okay, that was a great little stint right there. All right, well, it got pretty easy to relax after all that happened too. So it's cool that you kept going and you pushed her and picked it back up, because I can definitely tell you that the shutdown formed a lot of complacency within anyone, which is not bad. But if you want to hustle and make money at the end of the day too, and have a cool business, then you can't just stop. And also too, I was going to bring up, you guys, one of the unique things that I noticed that you guys did with the business is you guys like really spent a long time branding your business before it was really a storefront business, which is sweet.
Yeah. That was so important to me.
That's massive. Yeah. To know there, you see so many places just, I got this concept and people throw it up. Nobody has any idea about the concept when they're driving past, and they're like, oh, the building looks cool, but whatever. Everybody knew what Bombshell was before you guys had your first building.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Awesome. All right, I'm going to flip my page here. And we're going to kind of switch a little bit to some questions to kind of understand a little bit about you guys running a business and how you guys kind of operate too. I'm flying through my questions because you guys are answering them for me, which is awesome. But as far as running a business, we're going to talk a little bit the financial side of the business and stuff like that. Running a business and stuff like that, was it, with your guys' background, did you guys crowdfund? Did you guys, feel free not to answer any of these questions too, but as far as did you guys have a good backing behind the business, or was this out of your savings and you're okay,
out of our savings?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is out of your
This
savings.
is a huge risk for us.
We've put it on the line.
Yeah.
For Bombshell.
No, that's man, that's very admirable, and I can tell you that I won't be the reason if something goes wrong, because I'm here all the time.
We hear that.
Yeah,
we hear that.
So, and I can tell you that the whole city of Berkley loves you guys, just from knowing the people that I know in the city. It's really cool.
We love Berkley.
Berkley's been amazing.
Yes.
Dude,
Berkley's
this city
been
is so
amazing.
cool, man.
It
I love
is.
Berkley too,
Yes.
so much.
I feel like it's a real hidden gem.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even Coolidge, 12 Mile, and then you're getting to 11 Mile with even brushing into all the Oak Park stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's really coming to life over here.
I think so too.
So that's really cool. And I can tell you, as a Berkeley resident, thank you for choosing Berkeley, because I can walk here. Awesome. So, okay, so you guys poured your savings into this whole venture and stuff, which is scary, because, I'm trying to reflect to a lot of people, like, who want to become a business owner, who want to do stuff like this. Like, there are a lot of risk involved, and there's that worry and anxiety with that risk as well, which is, to me, I was telling you guys earlier, it scares the heck out of me all the time. With all that being said and all that you guys have put into it, what's the biggest challenge right now that you guys face with running a business like this?
Oh goodness, there's so many.
The learning curve has been extraordinarily steep, and I don't even think we're, in a way, halfway up it. Balancing the old business, the catering business, with having a storefront
Right.
that operates in some ways like a kitchen or a quick serve restaurant has been complicated. Training, like human resources, how that's kind of become where it is today has been totally organic. We don't have a training system like Qdoba or Chipotle.
Right.
This isn't a multi-million-dollar corporation.
You don't got the corporate manual
Yeah,
yet.
so everything that we've done has been literally forged by us or by the people that we work with,
Okay.
our team. And, every day we discover gaps and issues, however it works, and nothing's bad. None of this is negative. It's just the learning curve.
Absolutely.
So you learn about just how to be better, how to operate better. I do think the one thing I'll say, and then I'll shut up, is our food has always been good. So the quality of our food product, regardless of the location we've been in, where we're servicing, who we're servicing,
Yeah.
it's always top notch. We're learning everything else,
Right.
and that's now like 90% of the whole thing.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. With all that being said, what do you guys think personally, like, the biggest lesson that you've learned from this so far is?
This is going to be a long pause. The biggest lesson.
We got time.
Hire people that you really value and trust.
Okay.
I think labor is one of the hardest things about retail. Finding reliable people. And I've been so fortunate to have a group of they happen to be women, that believe in what we're doing so strongly that it almost feels like they'll do whatever it takes, as if they own it, to make us successful. And I am so indebted to them. And so if you can find people that believe in what you're doing and want to go along for the ride and help you with your growth, you are so lucky. And
Right.
so I feel so fortunate that I was able to find those few people.
And I can tell you from just being a customer and consumer of your guys' product, well, every time I come in here, I feel that. And I haven't seen you here. You're probably in the back or something. But when I walk in here, everyone out there, I can even name drop specifics
Yes.
that I know.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys want me to or not, but
You can. I'm sure it's Al.
Al,
Yes.
100%. I remember the first time I met Al. I don't even know if she remembers me, but it was at Coffee and Bark when you guys did a pop up there, and I was like, man, just just her vibe is so contagious, like of
Yes.
just happiness.
Yes.
You come in here, she makes you feel the same way.
Yes.
I'm telling you, like it's hard to find people like that. So I can definitely understand where that is probably the biggest learning lesson is finding good people like that, because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, very cool. We're gonna jump a little more outside of outside the business a little bit, as far as just like your guys' personal lives with being business owners. Do you guys with having like a leadership and kind of like a hustle type, lifestyle of being business owners? Is there any, like, do you guys have any favorite motivational quotes that you like that kind of like help you run your business?
I don't have one quote. I rely on music every single morning to get me going.
Okay, any particulars?
Well, I don't want to turn people off. I really am into Taylor Swift right now.
Oh, I've been to
But
the Eras tour.
Her lyrics are so powerful to me. Her latest album especially, and it's
Dead Poets
always
Society, or
about
Tortured Poets Society.
Yes, it's always about just overcoming, and people beat you down and how you rise up above that. And I'm stronger because of the challenges I've faced. And so I'm constantly driving to the store and I'm looking at her lyrics. Literally, I could get pulled over. I have her lyrics like showing on my phone as she's singing it, because it's just a real reinforcement to me that I got to keep going. I can't let the things that beat me down keep me down. And so music is really important to me. And also there's a podcast that I recommend to any budding entrepreneur or anyone that is a current entrepreneur, but it's called How I Built This.
That is one of the inspirations for my
Yes.
podcast.
And every interview that he conducts, I am so inspired by, whether it's food related or it doesn't matter the industry. I just think everyone has a story.
Right, exactly.
So we have a story, but I don't think our story is any more inspirational than anybody else's, especially after COVID. Everyone's got a reason why they keep going, and so
I disagree, but
okay.
You guys have a pretty inspirational
Okay.
story, man, after hearing it.
But I love those interviews, and so when I hear those, it also is so motivating to me.
Yeah, that's okay. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's gonna love that Taylor Swift plug right there.
Okay.
She is. She hasn't stopped playing Taylor Swift in our house for like the past 2 years. The Eras tour really.
She's so talented.
Yeah, she is. She
Yeah.
really is. But what about you, Matt? Do you have anything?
No one specific. I mean, I think I'm a very big media consumer. I read a lot every day. I'm very aware of what's out there. I think there's a lot of people doing inspirational things, saying inspirational things, business leaders and social leaders, lots of stuff. I think a lot of it's very overwhelming.
Right.
And I think that, to me, it draws me back inside of myself. So what I mean by that is looking for my own quotes, my own inspiration, my own kind of thing, balancing it versus other people and what other people are saying about the state of the world or the state of the anything like that. So I think you find inspiration in the everyday. I find inspiration in just any moment that anyone's just trying to have. And
Man, you guys are cool people, man. You guys are awesome. Seriously. That's cool. No, I hear you on that. As far as like expanding your business and stuff like that too, do you guys have any ideas for expanding in the future?
That's a definite goal of ours.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a business plan. We know what we want to do. We know what we would like to do. One of the pieces of advice that we've gotten about our current situation is to really put everything that we got into this spot for like 1 year. Don't think about, for example, franchising.
Yeah.
Don't think about, for example, a second store. Just focus on one and make it really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, polish that diamond. And that's what I'd like to do for the next year. And then go into, I think, our get the business plan out and get into scaling the business.
Right.
But we really would like everyone to know that when they come here, when they deal with us for catering that they're getting our best all the time. So
I believe
that's my focus.
I believe that, and I think just from anybody that listens or comes in here, they know that. They know that, and they believe it too. So that's cool now. And I think before you try to jump into like bigger things like that too, get your home tidy first.
Yeah.
Get your home in order and make sure that everyone knows how everything runs and the communication's there in the first building, so you can actually like expand later on.
Now, having said that, we do want Bombshell to be experienced by everyone, by more people, in more places.
I can definitely see the F word being attached to this franchise.
Yeah, well, something license. I mean, there's lots of different ways to do that, and different ways to talk about that, and different ways to implement that. But one of our goals would definitely be to have the Bombshell experience be able to be experienced by more people.
Gotcha.
And to spread the joy, spread the love, spread the sprinkles. It's what we've been trying to do since we started this.
Right. So with all this being said, right? You guys are running a business. You guys have 2 kids. You have a family. You have a business. You have your family of employees too, right? You guys are doing so much. What do you guys do to like kind of just chill out?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We never chill out.
Yeah. Like there's no time off. I mean, no days off.
Not right.
Really.
Probably not right now. I think we try to give each other time off. I try to give her some time. She tries to give me some time. We definitely co-parent. We definitely co-manage this business in a lot of different ways. We definitely rely on each other, but it's hard. And I think that everyone either knows that or should know that when you go, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're doing a startup, when you're working with your spouse.
Yeah.
These are challenging moments that, you have to put into context. And I think right now the context is that we're driving really hard, working really hard to make our lives really whole. And sometimes you can't take a break when you do that.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. You guys are the way you just described it is you guys make me think of like it's like a newborn baby, right?
Yes.
Like here, you take the baby, I'm gonna get some rest real quick.
Yes.
And then you take the baby, you go, I'll take the baby, you go rest, I'll clean the house a little bit, don't worry about that, just relax. Like it's literally like a newborn child.
Yes.
Laundry backs up.
Yeah.
Routines.
Or house is a mess.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
Routines get a little, discombobulated. You have to find new balance, and that can be hard. I think giving yourself the space, the empathy to admit that you're not balanced right now, that things are a little out of whack, is probably really important. And to just kind of go with that. The laundry will get done when it gets done. Sometimes you have to admit that, you're going to bag it up and take it to the fluff and fold. And you're going to pay someone else to do it. Just like that one.
Have you guys done it?
I have.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was probably like about a month and a half ago when, the store's been open for 3 months now. So we were probably a month and a half into it, and it was wild. And, laundry was kind of building up.
I feel mostly bad for the kids because they go through clothes so fast. They're filthy all the time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I could not keep up on their laundry. I just couldn't.
No, and that's so. Oh man, you guys are starting to make me get a little self-conscious over here. Like, we're having another kid.
Yeah.
Literally next week, and I like thought about like hiring a cleaning service to come to my house to do it like for the next couple weeks, but I haven't like pulled the trigger on it yet. But I'm like, okay, maybe I should do that now.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Camelot Cleaners next door because they just launched this wash and fold. So
Okay.
They will do your home laundry.
Okay.
Yes.
Camelot, I'll see you guys soon. That's awesome. Very cool. So, I mean, so you guys, I mean, with that being said, man, do you guys ever hit like burnout points then?
Every day.
Every day?
Every night.
Sorry,
I told you I was going to be
really
honest
that's
here.
Good. Like, what do you do to...
I go to sleep.
You go to sleep?
After the kids are in their rooms.
Yeah.
That's the only piece I think I can find.
Right. It's just sleep. That I mean, that's a good one. Oh man, mine would be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 beers, maybe a shot. Like, oh man.
We have trouble with alcohol.
Yeah.
Not that we can't, not our intake. He has an allergy, and I just
Well,
don't
that's probably a really good thing
Yeah.
then, huh?
It is what it,
hearing
it
how
is
much
what
you
it
guys
is.
work, man, you're
Yeah.
either going to be drunk all the time or you got to have an allergy. One of
It
the
is,
two.
it is what it is. So.
Yeah.
It's really hard
but-
starting a business
Yeah.
and having kids. In
Yeah.
hindsight, I wish that this idea came to us before we had a family.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the juggle there is no balance right now.
Yeah.
I
Do you think
eventually there will be.
Do
but
you
right
think
now
your
there
kids
isn't.
look up to you guys a lot more though because of this and like seeing
No.
like no, no, really? I mean, I would imagine that they probably feel some way about it.
I do. I think that I think that she's being critical of herself because she sees
I have a lot of guilt.
how they and how they
That's
express
fair.
themselves.
That's fair.
How they express themselves.
Yeah.
The other day, our daughter was in the shop for a few hours, just kind of hanging out, and she picked up the steamer mop, started steaming the floors,
Oh.
and I thought that was really cool,
Yeah.
and that made me happy.
Yeah.
That was cool. They're sick of our food, so they'll oftentimes say, I don't want Bombshell. I'm tired of Bombshell.
Right, yeah.
Which, again, just reminds me that it's around, like it's on their brain.
Yeah.
So I do think they are. I think they're very aware of what's going on. I think they're very aware that we are building something that we've always wanted to build, and we're doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for them. We're doing it for the community. We're doing it to try to put some happiness into the world. Like, we're doing it for all these different reasons, and they know that. And so I do think that they are proud of us, if that's the right word. I think they're aware.
Right.
And whether it becomes something that they do, like they pick up running a store, or they want to get into food, or they want to do something completely different in their lives, at least they'll have seen us take a risk
Yeah.
that they're going to need to take in their lives if they're going to get to where they need to go.
100%, absolutely. And I can tell you guys, like, I come from a single mother raised family. It was me, my mom, my sister, my whole entire life. I think it would be so cool to see my parents, if I could envision that, working together and starting a business. So you guys are absolutely killing it. So seriously, awesome. So one last thing here. I got 2 of them for you. The last one is we're going to wrap things up for you guys, but like I said, I kind of explained to you guys a little bit, like, I always wanted to like put this in, out there, like, how would I start this business? How would I start that business? If, what information, what would I need, right? If anybody's on the, the fringe of quitting their 9-to-5 job and opening up a business like this, or just any type of business, right? With your business background, you know about like, risk and taking stuff like that. What advice would you guys give to someone who's thinking about starting their first business?
I honestly feel it's very industry specific. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So my father is an entrepreneur. My brother is a very successful entrepreneur. What he needed to start his business was so different from what we needed to start our business. And so I just feel it's very specific to what you are looking to create, but research, do your homework, I hate social media personally, but I think it is an incredible resource for what other people are doing out there. Meet with people that are already successful in the industry that you're pursuing, see what is making them successful. I also believe so strongly in marketing. I don't think there are some businesses you don't need a marketing plan, but for food, I think one of the things that put us on the map, at least in our little community, is that we had a brand before we had really anything else. Mm-hmm. And that was so important to me. I think today's world of immediate gratification or click, 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 everything is click, clicks, through your phone. What's going to grab your attention? And so I think that's where branding comes in, what's bright and colorful and catches your attention. So I would say meet with as many people as you can, use the internet as your friend, and try to create a marketing concept for launch for when you're ready to hit the market. Mm-hmm. Those three things were really helpful to me.
Awesome. That's really cool. Matt, do you have anything?
I think just have a passion, a real passion for what it is that you're trying to do. If you have just an idea, might not be good enough. But if you have an idea and then a real passion to put all your energy, even all your money into it, then I think you've got something. It doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but you've got something at least to launch, to go to start.
And I do want to interject. It is so easy to quit. It is so easy to quit. And because it's so grueling, the work, and it's nonstop, I still say, I wish I just had a corporate job where I was getting a paycheck and it was guaranteed and I could go home and I wouldn't have to think about it. And this is 24/7 on your mind, and how can I do it better, and what happened today that I wish I had done differently. And so to maintain that motivation starts with really believing in what you want to create and feeling that you can do it, reminding yourself that you have the ability to do anything, and just constantly feeding that thought through your mind daily.
That's some good info right there. Yeah. That is some good info. Well, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How can people get a hold of you? Yeah. How can let's tell everyone where Bombshell's located, your hours, stuff like that, social medias. Go ahead and how can people get in contact with Bombshell if they want to hear about catering or anything like that too?
Well, there's always our website, which is bombshelltreatbar.com. I think we have a really nice social media presence on Instagram and Facebook. We're trying to build a TikTok account, but that's really challenging for me. We're in downtown Berkley between 12 and Catalpa on Coolidge on the east side of the street, and I don't think you can miss us. We have a cute red awning, and we're a corner shop. And I'm going to give you my phone number. I'm happy anyone can call me. I'm very available, and I also think as a business owner, you should always make yourself available to your customers. I think they really appreciate that personal connection to ownership. Mm-hmm. So my mobile is 248-930-6669, and I'm Jill at bombshelltreatbar.com, and I love to hear from our customers.
You guys rock. Thanks again
Thank you.
so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you for having
and,
us.
Like I said, this was like one of my dream episodes. So thank you so much, guys. And honestly, it turned out to be crazier and cooler than I ever thought it would be. So thank you.
Thanks.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, everyone. So that's a wrap for us today at Bombshell Treat Bar with Jill and Matt. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for episode 5. I hope you guys love this as much as I do. So have a great day.